We all went in, and it was me and my cousin Chrissy and my cousin Cody. We went in and asked my mom if we could go down and get some Frosties before dinner. And she said, yeah. Me and Chrissy's walking, and that's when the Lincoln pulled up. From the very, very beginning, they drilled it into my head, they drilled it into her head that, you know, if we try to act up, something really bad was gonna happen. He threw me into the dining room table, busted me up pretty good, but Chrissy, he dragged up the stairs by her hair, threw her down the stairs, and did it again like 3 more times. I didn't want to end up dead, I didn't want her dead and it be my fault, you know, I mean, it's like they had us completely wrapped, completely controlled, you know, to where we were brainwashed, to where we were like, okay, we have to do this or else, you know, something bad could happen. I mean, that's what they did. They just played us off each other, you know, and it worked.
A lot of the truck stops I go into, you see a lot of the girls, and a lot of them are very young.
This one, she didn't even look 13, 14 years old. She had a little mini skirt on. But within 30 minutes, that girl had done been in 3, 4 trucks.
My son and I were driving through Oklahoma City, had the radio on, and the guy comes on the radio, hey, anybody want any underage girls?
To realize that this is going on in America is disturbing.
When most people think of the problem of child prostitution and sexual exploitation of children, they think of it as being a problem for foreign countries, for third world nations, and doesn't exist here in the U.S., and that's just not true. If you have adult prostitution going on in your area, you have child prostitution going on in your area.
Here we are, you know, I'm 15 years old, my cousin is 14, and we're here at a truck stop, you know, being forced to work it, you know, being forced to go from truck to truck, asking, you know, if the guy would like to have sex with us, you know, and we're young girls, terrified out of our minds.
Nobody wakes up and says, gosh, I'd really like to sell myself on the streets today. That is something that is being directed by the victimizer, by the trafficker. And these kids find themselves in a situation they cannot, literally cannot get out of.
It was just an awful experience how many truck drivers, you know, was okay with it. You know, not thinking that, you know, this is somebody's daughter, you know, this is somebody's family member, you know, that it is missed, you know, you don't think of that, you know, that they don't want to be here.
The trucking industry is in a unique position because they actually will be in locations that pimps will bring in their victims to be prostituted out. Those being truck rest stops and service stations and things of that nature.
What we have primarily done is created thousands and thousands of wallet cards with the national hotline number on them, and they also include, these wallet cards includes indicators to look for that you might be interacting with a potential trafficking victim. And so what we're asking the trucking industry to do is become aware of this issue and then take action on it. And primarily we want truck drivers to become aware of this because truck drivers are the eyes and the ears of the nation's highway. And so if these folks can see what's going on at the truck stops and at the rest areas and make those phone calls and give specific details when they call, we really feel they will put a dent in our country's sex trafficking issue.
So where your truckers can help out at their rest stops, you know, they know who's coming in. You see a car pull in or a navigator pulling in. Why is a navigator pulling in with 10 girls in it and one guy behind the wheel? And all of a sudden you've got a bunch of young girls walking out in revealing or lingerie clothing and knocking on cabs or talking over CBs saying, hey, you know, is anybody looking for a date?
We want truckers, when they call the national hotline, 1-888-3737-888, to be as specific as possible and give actionable information. And what we mean by that is that when they call in with those tips, tell us more details about what was suspicious, so that when we turn over these tips to law enforcement, they're able to open an investigation regarding them.
As an investigator, it's always details is what helps us. If you can, simple things that you can note: what's the vehicle, the color of the vehicle, the make of the vehicle, description of any of the occupants, the girls, how many, race, possible age that you think it may not be. If you can get a license plate, what state, what the plate is, that's fantastic. If you can get a description of who's driving it, who's in control of it. If you can take pictures say 1,000 words. And if you have a camera or an iPhone, whatever it might be, that's a fantastic piece of evidence and piece of information that we can use. You know, it's getting involved that much. We're not saying go out there and grab the girls and try and drive away with them. No, don't try and rescue them on your own, but even the smallest little details that you guys have that can provide us with would help, and have helped to recover girls and save kids. And that's really what it's about. And every one of these kids that are recovered and saved, what you have to remember is you're preventing hundreds of rapes going on. Every one of these guys that we arrest, that's preventing hundreds, if not thousands, of kids of being raped and abducted.
The average age for a young girl to enter the sex for sale industry in the United States is 12 years old. And these girls need help. And sometimes even it's our young boys. These are America's children. And so what we are asking the trucking industry, the people who can help and make a difference, because they're out there. Pimps have identified truck stops as a great place to sell these girls. Truckers come and go. It is so easy for them not to think about it or worry about it. But what we are asking truckers to do instead is take a look at these young girls. Try and enter in, recognize that this is somebody's daughter, this is somebody's family member, and that you can make a difference here if you pick up that phone and call the national hotline. And so many people turn a blind eye to these girls. In fact, 1/3 of them are usually runaways. They're coming from abused homes. These girls' lives from start to finish have been horrific. And so they need an everyday hero. They need someone to pick up that phone and make the call on their behalf, and hopefully it leads to their rescue.
There's 2.4 million CDL drivers in the United States. We need to educate them about what we're talking about right here, human trafficking. We can make an impact. We can change everything that goes on out there by getting involved.
Thank God what saved me was that truck driver that called in and said, hey, you know, this is whoever at the TA truck stop, you know, and we have some girls out here that look pretty young.
911. A couple of girls at the TA 167 trying to do business out here.
Because this trucker made the call, I have an opportunity to actually have life. You know, I have this baby, this is the second one now, second one on the way. I have a little girl, this is a little boy. I'm married, you know, to a wonderful guy, and I actually have life. I actually can come back from this. You know, I have a chance to live, you know, to experience things that without what he did for me, you know, a simple phone call, without that, you know, it would have been total opposite. But here I am, I'm sitting here with my mom, you know, I mean, and that all could have been taken away, but because of, you know, that trucker, I have, you know, a future.
Oh, that trucker. The one that made that phone call. I think about him all the time. I have never met him. I don't know who he is, but boy, I owe him a lot. If it wasn't for him calling the police and saying that she just doesn't look right there, I have no idea what would have happened. Boy, am I thankful to him, to that truck driver. God, am I thankful to him. And if he ever sees this, thank you.
Here's what we need you to do. Get your hands on a wallet card. Carry it everywhere. And when you suspect human trafficking is taking place, call the national hotline number at 1-888-373-7888 and tell them what you see. They need truckers anywhere and everywhere to flood them with calls and tips about what is going on out there. Truckers are the eyes and the ears of our nation's highway, and you all see what most cannot or do not. So make the call and save lives. Raise awareness about domestic sex trafficking with everyone you know. Talk about what you've just seen on this video. Tell the stories of these young girls and help educate other members of the trucking industry so they can become Truckers Against Trafficking. Ask your safety director to show this DVD to your entire company. Make human trafficking a regular part of safety training. Hang up TAT posters in your break rooms. Tell all Travel Plaza Center's employees about human trafficking and signs that they can be looking for. Get extra wallet cards or copies of this DVD. Pass them out to other members of the trucking industry. Tell others our website, truckersagainsttrafficking.com. And if you have a website yourself, link TAT to it. When you get the knock at the door, you have three choices. Choice one is to totally ignore them. Choice two is to invite them in. Third choice is think and make a call. Make a call because you could be saving a life.